It's really difficult. Like that is funny because people are like, oh, well, you know, it's pain. Because people don't see the pain of incoming wives like that. Because I just don't think that people care for the most part because they said, well, you chose this is your thing, or whatever the case may be. Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's Coach Nyla.
And Coach Fatimah.
And we are co-wives, which means we are married to the same man.
Coach Nazir.
And we are co-founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as co-authors of the book,
Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored.
So, yes.
All right, you guys. Now, in this video, this is a very, very special video. I'm going to be interviewing my co-wife, and I'm going to tell you guys really quickly how this came to be. I'm not like, me, this was my idea, but it was my idea. Yes. My idea because she said something really powerful. We had a really organic conversation. We always do. It's not always business. We're people. You get a little piece of our lives, but not all of our lives. So we have our own individual conversations with one another outside of Coach Nazir and our children. Mm-hmm. So one of those conversations was a pretty powerful one, and it was about how subsequent wives don't have a voice and how many, many times my co-wife, Coach Nyla, has felt like she didn't have a voice. And I've been there on a very rare occasion where I could see that that was a thing. And then just learning more about her, I understood that, yeah, it's a thing. And in our DMs, in our emails, through our clients, we have discovered that it is a very, it can be very traumatizing for subsequent wives. And this video is to educate everyone. So everyone is welcome to listen in as I interview her. I have a few questions, more than a few. I'm gonna ask her. There's no plot twist, there's no screwball, there's none of that stuff. But these are really important questions to give a voice to many sisters, wives that feel like they have not had a voice in a relationship, marriage. When we say relationship, we mean marriage, you guys. Pro morals. So I don't want y'all to think we went off script. We did not. We're still pro morals. We'll always be God willing. So with that, we're going to begin with Coach Nyla and these 10 questions that I have. I think it's 10. So let's get right off into it. How scary, question number one, guys, how scary was it to enter in polygyny initially, especially in today's society? Because we're in a technical, right? A technological world, so.
You know, that's interesting too. Wow, that's an interesting question. How scary, because initially it didn't feel scary. Like initially it didn't feel scary because I stated it before, but you know,
for
the new people, it's like you have this idea in your head. You know, you have this idea that, especially if you're part of a culture that this is regulated, that this is something that the Most High has like not only stated that it's okay to do, kind of actually encourages, you know, so to speak.
Pardon interruption. We want to share with you something that's very important, a project that we've been working on and empowering people with called the Polygamy Masterclass. I conduct a 4-part men's polygamy masterclass where we go through the 4 stages of polygamy. So when we're talking about the idea stage, the what to expect stage to transitioning, as well as the new normal, which includes a whole bunch of stuff in between there. All right, of course, include leadership and financial things as well. Now, I want men to check that out by going to polygamymasterclass.com. In addition to having access to the live courses as well as the pre-recorded ones, you also get downloads, you get access to me directly. So let's get busy if you really are serious about practicing polygamy in a healthy manner.
Yes, and in our Women's Polygamy Masterclass, we train on preparedness in polygamy.
In addition to connecting with your co-wife and everything in between.
So make sure you go to polygamymasterclass.com for a higher level of education. Now back to your video.
So just learning about it, and I'm like, hey, that kind of makes sense, because I didn't come from that. I didn't come from, my parents didn't practice polygyny. You know, I was raised by a single mother who was raised by a single mother, you know, type of thing. So it's a lot of different levels to it. So when I saw something that was like a solution to problems that I've seen growing up, you know, and even being a single mother myself, you know, and a divorce, you know, it's like, wow, you know, this makes sense. However, when it comes down to it, you find out a lot of different stuff afterwards. It's like, you know, okay, this makes sense. So since it makes sense to me, it makes sense to other people too. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't scary at first. It wasn't until being involved in it and the backlash you get from people that even practice the same religion that you do, call you things that you're not, or it's really difficult. Like that is funny, because people are like, oh, well, you know, it's pain, because people don't see the pain of incoming wives like that. Because I just don't think that people care for the most part, because they said, well, you chose this is your thing, or whatever the case may be. But to be in a position where you say, this, you know, I want companionship, I want marriage, you know, I want a family, and I see, you know, I want sisterhood, I want these different things, because you have your own ideas of what you want, you know, type of thing. And it may not fit into everybody else's circle of what it is that they want, you know what I'm saying, or what they think is okay, or, you know, deemable, or whatever the case may be. But you know that it's not immoral, you know that it's not, you know, anything that, you know, malicious or anything like that. But then when you get hit with things like that, you were this monster, and that you were this person, he's like, whoa, let me fade into the background. Let me, you're right, let me aim for the bushes. You know, it's a lot of stuff where you be like, whoa. So that's where the scary part comes. The scary part when you feel like you're alone in something that you just really thought that was something that should have been beautiful, you know?
Right, all them shoulds. That's true. I mean, and that's a powerful statement. It should have been beautiful. And I mean, there's still time, and it still can be, but it can get ugly. Like, I was there for some of that, y'all. Question number 2. What are some negative assumptions about subsequent wives, in your opinion? You did cover some of this.
Some of them, yeah.
Some of this. But in your experience, like personally, what were some negative assumptions you stated? That ulterior motive, like everything was diabolical.
Yeah, everything was
just
diabolical. It couldn't be anything good with me. I was called a snake. I was called a home wrecker. I was called many things before people even got to know who I was. So, yeah.
That's what it is.
So just personally, it was just a lot of that. You know, a person that didn't care. You know, that was very heartless. You know, that was just selfish, out for self, you know, those type of things, a pick me. Yeah. You know, so it was a lot of those different things that you get where you like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
Where did this
it's like getting
from?
blindsided.
You know, you like, smack of eye.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. And then it's like I said before, though, it's so different when you get it from people who don't share what you share. So, like, if it was anybody on the outside, meaning that they were non-Muslim or something like that, I can at least give that excuse and say, oh, well, you know, they don't know what we know. You know, they don't have what we have, you know. I can easily do that. But when you get it from so many people that share what you share, and they don't even, you know, they don't get to know, and it's like, this is wrong, and this is this, and, you know, or you did this. I was talking to my son this morning, which is really interesting that we talking about this, but I talked to him this morning about what's a trigger for me. Like, I'm not triggered very easily, but there are pieces. Like, I'm very sensitive, but I'm not triggered like with little petty stuff. But it's a big trigger for me, or a main trigger for me, is when people question my intention, my integrity, and say what I meant to say. Like, they put that on me. I'm like, how do you know what I was doing? How do you know what my intentions were for it? But you're quick to say confidently, this is why this is why she did it. This is what she don't know. This is what she da-da-da. How you know? You don't even live, and you didn't experience my life from babyhood to childhood to adult. You ain't experienced none of that with me.
Yeah.
You're not in my head. You're not in my heart.
Yes.
You're not in my body, but you're very convinced of why I do what I do. You know, even if I tell you it's something different. So that's a thing that I've gotten and still get. The crazy thing is 12 years in, 12 years in, I still get people telling me what my intentions were or what I don't understand or how I benefit and how I've hurt people. All these different things, which is like, it had to take me being in heavy personal development, also cutting some negative core beliefs within myself because of hearing so much negativity, you know, surrounding my actions and what I thought or what I did, you know, whatever. So those type of things definitely cause, you know, some issues, but it caused me to have to be like, whoa, I gotta really be intentional with my own sanity, you know what I'm saying? With my own, with my own heart and my own feelings. And then people wonder why, you know, they're like, oh, well, she's standoffish, or oh, she's, you know, stuck up, or oh, she's this type of way when you don't get to know a person, because it's hard to put yourself out there if you know, or, you know, reach out your hand for a handshake and you get it slapped.
And you get it slapped.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and let's just say, if you guys know the Myers-Briggs 16 personality type indicator, Coach Nyla is an INFJ, and they don't open up easily. So especially, I mean, just in general, they're shy people. And then when they kind of get to know you and they know they're mentally and emotionally safe, then you might get some part of their lives or their heart.
And then they get slapped.
But then you get slapped, then they go back, then they go forward, you know. But just so you know, it's not easy when you already have that personality type and you're already introverted and you're already shy to open up to people, because people can hurt you. You know, it's kind of like a protective measure, but especially you come back out and then somebody's like, oh no, this is what you did. Get back down there. You know, it's very violent mentally. And speaking of mental illness, there are some people in the comments that need to go seek help.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I got to call a thing a thing. Some of you, not all of you, shout out to those that love us, but some of you need to go see a therapist, and I'm dead serious.
And that's okay.
That's cool.
That's okay. It's good for your emotional well-being.
Yeah.
And it's just better. And my
do
thing is,
that.
I would not even be against that. I mean, I've spoken to a number of therapists, and I've been through my own sources of therapy throughout my life, throughout different traumas and things that I've went through, just so I can be a better person, just so I can handle the other rough stuff that comes within life. You know?
And we do support that. I'm speaking to the ones that in here for these hateful comments, like you can't talk on that and all these different things. I'm like, you just want to be mentally violent just for the sheer fact of sport, and you just want to do it for sport. So we're gonna get into this next question. Okay, what do you feel subsequent wives are afraid to say?
That I have a voice, that my feelings matter. My feelings matter too. I think that's y'all let me know. Subsequent wives are watching. Let us know if I'm on the ball, like I'm right on the money with that. Like my feelings matter too. I think that's one of the things that you want to say it, but you're afraid to say it because you don't want to get hit back with, well, you chose this, or you da-da-da, well, why you think you didn't care about this person? You know, well, what if somebody does this to you? Or what if this? It's like, wow, really? So before, you know, I don't know if this is going to be a question coming up, but before, because I know people ask, well, you know what? And I've seen, even we did a reaction video to a show or a video that made a comment about, well, if you're a second wife, it's all good for you, but if a third one came in, would it still be good? Honey, yes, I'm going to tell you, because what I do is I focus on my marriage. I mind my marriage. Do you think that it was any different by me coming in already to a marriage that was already done? You don't think that I wouldn't have any insecurities about what my co-wife has with our husband? Do you not think that there's other stuff that, we can have our own feelings and individual feelings about, but you got to outweigh those insecurities. You have to outweigh those negative feelings, and got to ask yourself, are those feelings really real? Can you see
Right.
something bigger than that?
Right.
And I saw something bigger than that with my co-wife. I saw something bigger than that with being a part of this family. So yeah, if someone else comes in, if he decides that he wants to marry again and then marry again, that's not going to make me feel some type of way. It is what it is. Their marriage is still going to be their marriage. Our marriage is still going to be our marriage. Their marriage is still going to be their marriage. That's not going to change. You know, only we make that change, you know. So, you know, yeah, so would you feel some type of way? The only way I feel some type of way if I'm putting negative stuff in my head. The only way I'm going to feel some type of way is if I'm allowing myself to feel some type of way. And if I feel that he may have done something to contribute it to me feeling some type of way, then it's up to me to have that discussion.
Yeah, period.
You know?
Period, poo. And I'm going to be somewhere doing the electric slide or Millie rocking if he get married again. So, like, you know, I'm over it. I am. I done had 50,000 kids, and
Right.
I'm like,
It's, you know, we don't live our life.
let me tell you something. I don't care if I'm getting out of Bentley or if I'm getting out of Hoopty. I'm going to be Coach Fatimah no matter what's happening, period. Okay, now that I'm done being a buffoon, okay, ooh, this is a big one, but we have addressed this one. So this is, you know, these, I want to just say these, if people are like here to like see if I'm going to throw a trick in there, that ain't what we do. That ain't what we do. And I don't know the answers to these questions.
Gotcha.
And Coach Nyla didn't have these questions before we
sure
started.
didn't.
But she has been met with them, so I know that she's relatively awesome at answering them. So I have
And I'm like that
all faith.
You've given that too, because you've done a video that stated that, like, you know, subsequent wives have a voice too.
Oh yeah, I custom.
I loved it. I loved it. I was like,
Wait a minute.
tell them, sis.
I'm like, no, let me clear this.
I loved it.
I'm gonna eat my cheese sandwich and get this all the way together.
Yes,
That's what I did
yeah.
that day, y'all, because I get sick of the injustice of it. But this is about Coach Nyla now.
Yeah, no, I really love that, and I love that you even set this up, because it definitely puts, you know, it changes the direction and the dynamic of it, and I love that. And you know, it shows that care. It shows that heart. That say, like, look, and what it comes down to is like, we are gonna talk about this.
We gonna talk
and
about
you
it.
said it in a number of videos. You was like, look, we gonna talk about this stuff, and we gonna talk about one. We gonna talk about all.
Because if we gonna do it, we gonna do it right. I don't do teams. This ain't Crips and Bloods.
You know
There ain't no
what I'm
banging
saying?
over here.
Exactly.
So this is important work, because there shouldn't be women that are, see, that we have this initial wife privilege, but I want to speak to subsequent wives, because there shouldn't be that privilege. Somebody asked me.
I love that you
what
said
the hell
that.
was it? Bottom something? I equated it to bottom B, but you know, she said, "Are you the chief wife?"
Oh yes, chief
no,
wife.
queen.
Yes, I can. That was
No.
really interesting too that you said that too, because people will say, you know, they'll make that comment. They're like, oh, well, you know, they don't have that voice, or it'll make the comment of that, you know, it's this hierarchy here and everything. So yeah, it's really good.
There's no clergy. we don't have that. And if that was a thing, I would not support that, because that's not part of our culture in Islam. We're black women, so we have things that we do as black women that we've carried generationally from our ancestry, from our families, from our grandmothers, so that we don't abandon those things. However, we do observe heavily, and we're practicing Muslims, that there is no one wife over the next wife.
Here are 3 ways Outstanding Personal Relationships can help you.
Make sure you guys are following us on our social medias at Outstanding Personal Relationships on YouTube and Facebook, and on IG at Outstanding Relationships.
And make sure you sign up for our email list, and you can actually email us at support@Outstanding Personal Relationships, where you will get updates on our new book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored, as well as exclusive access to our lives and bonuses.
Absolutely. If you're looking for more polygyny education, make sure you visit polygamy.masterclass.com. Now, if you're looking for coaching or counseling with either Coach Fatimah or Coach Nyla, you can find them at.
Make sure you visit me at CoachFatimah.com.
And myself at CoachNyla.com.
That's how we can help you. Assalamu alaikum.
Peace.